Here we go. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Dirty 20 Gaming. My name is Kevin. These wonderful people, even the ones hiding behind dolls, have been have been wonderful enough to join me this evening to play a game of Dungeons and Dragons that I want to get to really quick because I'm looking forward to this one. And all this stuff at the start takes forever. So let's go fast. Our virtual tabletop of choice is Roll20. The art that you see behind us that the overlay is made out of is actually from the adventure Storm King's Thunder, which is kind of nearly almost where we have our plot. We're certainly using the maps, the locations, and even some of the encounters from time to time. But we're also doing a lot of our own stuff. That's enough of that. Let's talk to these wonderful people and then let's get playing. Let's just do it in order. The wonderful and marvelous and charming Sarah. Tell us what you're doing when you're not doing here, when you're not being here.
I'm currently working on a project that I can't talk about. Um, you can also find me over on Tangor Productions, and I'm also a writer at the Scarred Adventurer blog.
Awesome. And you have brought us Idicus, and Idicus broke in spectacular fashion last week. I'm looking forward. That sounds really bad. That sounds really like morbid, but I'm looking forward to seeing what happens from this point on. So thank you for bringing us, not only for bringing us the amazing Idicus, but then for making them fragile. And yeah, thank you. It's been amazing already. Next in line, the Scarred Adventurer was mentioned in that. So let's let him talk about himself. Scarred Adventurer.
As Sarah mentioned, there's a project that I'm working on with her that I can't really talk about too much, but it's been fully cast, and I'm super excited about that. Anyways, that's too much information that I've even already. Be sure to check out thescarredadventure.com because it's full of wonderful people. Episode Chapter 1 of Shattered Tomorrow has just been re-released with everything in Chapter 1, and Chapter 2 is being released tomorrow. So look forward to that if you are interested in Shattered Tomorrow.
Excellent. And also thank you for playing Creature, the creature that never stays the bloody same. Uh, you've been through a pupil stage and a morph about 4 times so far. I'm just going to let everybody in on the fact that before the show tonight, somebody said we should change the name to Zulthus, and I said not yet, because I'm not sure that it's done changing yet. So, thank you so much for bringing us this creature that you keep. It's like an infinite onion. You just keep peeling layers, and there's more underneath. So, thank you for that. Let's go next. Let's go to Bison. Hello.
Hi.
Are you? Did you stream this week?
No. I fell asleep. No, I had stuff to do. Like we had like actual like adulting stuff to do.
Well, that's a completely different story.
Yeah.
What do you stream when you stream?
When I stream, it is usually Monday nights at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I stream whatever game I feel like playing at the moment. Lately, it's been Cyberpunk 2077, but I might be playing War Thunder. I might play Outriders. Who knows? It's just whatever I feel like playing at the time.
Awesome. And you are playing for us the fine and wondrous. I'm using these words a lot. I must be running out of words, like I need a thesaurus. But Bickford, probably the most complicated bugbear that's ever existed. I don't know if anybody can argue that. He's in his 40s. He's already old, and then all this shit happens. Thank you very much for just making this bugbear's tiny brain grow to fit his gigantic head. And I saved you for last for a reason, Solar Dasher. Every single time you say, this next week I'm going to get to stream. This next week I'm going to get to stream. So did you get to stream this week?
No, like Bison, I had adulting to do.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah. Well, the house doesn't clean itself. Let's just put it that way.
Oh, see, if you sit right in front of the computer, then most of the house doesn't get dirty. But
But no, I didn't get to stream. Hopefully next week. I know I keep saying that, but
It's good to have a
we'll
dream.
see.
It's good to have a dream. Just occasionally you got to live it. But I saved you for last because the amazing Beowulf Blackmane, for all the changes that the rest of them have gone through, the changes Beowulf has gone through so far have been probably a little more subtle. The growth a little less obvious, but to be cryptic about it, we're about to change all that. So thank you for going with this idea. Thank you to Bison, I think, who was the one that actually proposed the change.
Oh yes, we're gonna have
yes.
lots and lots of fun with this one. Correct.
Speaking of which, we can just segue, watch that, right into this from here. We're going to back up just a little tiny bit. We're going to back up to just before the ship hits the ice cold water of this river. That water is black. It's so cold. The little ripples on the surface, the little white water, looks like frost. Both sides are frozen absolutely solid. There's ice flows half the size of the boat, swirling in this fast flowing, relatively deep, chasm bound river. There's no question of landing up on the top anymore. You're in the valley and you are flying. Flying's a strong word. You are possibly affecting the directional change in this apparatus as it rapidly approaches the water. Everybody else is downstairs. Below decks. We're on a boat. Below decks. Let's go with that. You are pulling ropes and steering and heaving and hoeing and sweating. And just before you get to the water, you pull up and you see a couple of things. Without the fire elemental, the balloon is starting to collapse. It's lost all of its heat and it's just starting to shrink. But somehow that has triggered a recovery mechanism that's starting to fold this balloon like origami and put it away in a locker on the deck. So at least you don't have to worry about that. But none of the controls of the boat work because they require the presence of the two elementals that are not here. And as that boat hits the water, you just skid across a little one of these mini icebergs, causing it to tip up on one side and threaten to flip your whole boat. But you run to that side and heave on a rope. And when you pull, something breaks. Not like your arm or a muscle or a tendon, but a wall in your head. Something snaps. Everything slows down and the boat starts to, you realize in an instant you're not flipping over. The boat starts to come back down. The ice flow starts to flow away and rotate. So you've got a second to process this, which is good because what happens?
That's a good question. Okay. So we're skidding down, if I recall what you said, we're skidding down this little iceberg type thing.
Yep.
I'm doing my best to control it. And then what I realized again is that we've got these little ice skates down on the bottom. Probably won't do so good with floating, right?
Yep.
So as soon as I get the ship stabilized enough, I make a run for the device. I believe will retract the skates to make it just a plain boat on the water.
Okay, so you run back and grab that and give it a heave. Give me a dexterity, a acrobatics or athletics. Your choice.
Makes good sense.
You start to run back to where you know those levers are, and you start to slip and slide. And where you are is right amidships. There's no railing here. You are heading for the edge. You look up, there's no one to help you. As you
Of course, I'm still in human form at this point, so I'm just trying to scramble and make my way, but not doing so well. I think if I change, I might be able to get a little bit of grip because I got plus.
give me another
Nothing happens.
give me another acrobatics. $14. A hand, your hand, but maybe not your hand, kind of reaches out and grabs the last little bit of railing as the rest of Beowulf slides off the deck and hangs in midair on the slightly tilted ship. Your toes, when you look down, I'll let you describe what you see in a minute, but your toes are inches from this ice cold water, and then the ship starts to level out, drawing you up, which is good, away from the water, but you're also like, the ship is here and you're about to get slammed against the side of it. But I kind of mentioned your claws and your hand and your feet. You said you tried to change as you go over the edge. Did it work, and what, if anything, is different? He asked leadingly.
At first, I don't think it worked at all. I'm just sliding down. Suddenly, just out of nowhere, out of instinct, I reach and I grab the side, just like you're saying. And I dangle just for a few minutes. I look down. I don't see my boots no more. They're gone. But I see feet claws? Rather interesting, I think to myself. As the ship comes back up towards the other side, carrying me up, I work and I reach myself and try to pull myself back up onto the deck. I still have this curious thought in the back of my mind, what is going on? For all I can remember right now is what I've known of my past, that my parents are trying to kill me and all that fun stuff. I don't know anything else at the moment. That block is still not fully down.
And the boat rises, and as it peaks and starts to drop again, you take that opportunity to kind of roll onto the deck. Mm-hmm. And you grab the base of the mast and start grabbing ropes again and steering the ship in. Mm-hmm. And that's the part that we had to redo from last week. Downstairs, we left an interesting scene, to say the least. We have Idicus, Zulthus, and Bickford all down in the basement. An entire encounter was had. Who was still where, and what, if anything, was still simmering? If I remember, Idicus and Zulthus kind of have come to an agreement when locked in the forward cabin together, or the Elemental's cabin together, right?
I think, if I remember correctly, I had just opened the door, and then we hit the water.
Right. Okay. Perfect. So
I noticed, they hadn't killed each other. Hooray!
Yay! We're not dead. Whoa, we might be dead. Yes. So you got the at that moment it all comes back together. Then the ship slams into the water. Those of you inside don't know how close you came to losing Beowulf. By the time you recover your feet, actually, everybody give me a dexterity save except for Beowulf.
Can I just
And sorry
immediately
about
fail
that
it and slam
lovely
into the
little
top of
bit
the ceiling?
mess.
Yes,
Ow,
you can. Yeah.
Ow, kitty.
And then just kind of almost cartoonishly just stuck to the top of the ceiling. Not quite, but still.
Yep.
Knock it off.
So Idicus and Bickford, you just automatically react, just kind of boom and absorb the impact. But it's a hell of a bang. The ship lists, and then again, for that horrible moment, it feels like it's going to go over. And then it comes back down to flat. You hear the screeching and tearing of ice against the wood on the outside of the ship. Yeah, you're not dead yet, as Chad has pointed out. Zulthis, you just slam up against the roof and kind of hang there for a second and then slam back to the ground, and your kind of knees are locked when you land.
I was hoping just to stick to the top and then kind of come back out, keeping my feet on the ceiling.
Oh, right.
Just come and look at everyone.
Stuff, yes. Okay, so yeah, you stand back up from in the inverted position on the ceiling. Absolutely. In that case, for that, I do need a dex save.
Okay,
That's
I
a
will
move.
give the deck save. All right, and
Roll flex. You pull it off,
13.
but just barely. You kind of.
Not as graceful as you'd like.
No, you're a wobbly stalactite for a moment before you lock into cool pose. But at least you don't fall on your head. You don't do the Spider-Man thing where he comes out on the string and slams into the ground.
it's always a fun thing.
But the three of you downstairs have no idea what's happening. Upstairs on the deck, Beowulf, you kind of come to your senses, shake your head. What form are you in?
As soon as I'm safe and not in any danger of falling off,
Yep.
I revert back to human.
Right.
So when I look down at my hands, my now bare feet, I shiver a little bit because obviously now I'm very cold.
Yep.
But I begin to wonder, was I dreaming and did I lose my shoes in the water? Or, what just happened? That was really weird.
Give us a wisdom save. See if you can process.
Zulthis, as soon as Beowulf shivers, has a quick mom sense. Someone needs clothing.
12. That's perfect. That is a nice innocuous roll. You really don't know whether it happened or whether it was just a shock of the accident or how much of it happened or where your shoes are. We've all had those Fridays. But yes, you kind of come to your senses and realize now that once the ship is down, pulling these ropes isn't doing anything anymore. Downstairs, you're in a river. Ice is slamming against the sides of this ship that you're in. Every time it does, you hear it creak and get shoved sideways. The boat is slowly turning as it goes down this black, icy water. You're inside it, and currently you're all in the hallway, so there's no windows. Portholes, I should probably say, down here. You are only the length of the boat and a flight of stairs from the deck. I saw, Bickford, I saw your lips move twice before I kept talking.
Well, Bickford's kind of wants to make sure everyone's okay, sees that they more or less are. And after a second, he's like, "Oh shit, Beowulf!" and runs back upstairs.
And turn and take off. The two of you, leaving the two of you in the elemental chamber with the door open. As he bolts away, the door starts to slowly shut.
Zulthis, not thinking very much, just kind of picks Iticus up and just rushes through the door.
You're hanging from the roof.
Oh, well, it's a big sphere, you said. Doesn't need to do much, but just run
so
in
you walk all the way. Okay. I just wanted to know whether you were coming out upside down or right side up.
Oh, he's going to run in a kind of...
Okay, you run around and
one of
reach
those
down
terrible
to
motorcycle cages.
Yeah, the Wheel
Oh,
of
yeah,
Death.
yeah.
Iticus, are you playing Wheel of Death with Zulthis? You see the big clawy, ghosty, shadowy thing arm coming out of that shit? No. Okay.
I'm already the minute Bickford said, "Oh shit, Beowulf,"
Yeah.
I was also tearing out of there. And as I'm going, I'm taking my 2 arrows.
Yeah.
out of the wall and putting them back in my quiver and just headed up.
Okay, so yes, because of movement, yeah, you've got that far. You go to all the way around. So yeah, Zulthis, you start to run around the sphere, but by the time you get halfway there, you're kind of vector committed now. Like you have built up speed, but your target is no longer where your target was. So you're kind of running for empty space at the bottom of the Wheel of Death.
Yeah, I am.
Ithacus is heading out the door, and
I'm just trying to head out the door.
and then you just curve in. So that's the order then.
Yeah.
We go, Bickford, Ithacus, Zulthis.
getting into all
Ithacus is
fours,
faster
but with
than me.
dress shoes.
Both of them are faster than me, so we'd probably all get up there almost at the same time.
You are big, and it's a narrow hallway. So
That's true.
we went to all that trouble to generate a marching order. We're gonna fucking use it. We did it very organically and narratively. It was very nicely done, and then we broke the wall talking about it. So, Bickford, you get to the bottom of the stairs first. There's 2 flights of stairs here anyway, so you get upstairs first. Is my point.
See Beowulf, I'm like, hey, you're not dead. Awesome. 3 for 3.
Beowulf has no boots.
Where'd your shoes go?
Soaking
Clothes
wet.
are ripped in a couple places and soaking wet. Yeah. In fact, soaking wet and starting to icicle up. It is cold here. You guys are still in the ice fields. This river cuts through an ice field.
So we made it, sort of. Everyone's okay. You're okay?
It's very cold out here. I think I'm gonna actually use the rooms downstairs for a while.
You just started to shiver your way towards the yeah.
Bigfred's been wearing like the bed sheets as
Yep.
like a fake sort of blanket parka. He's just gonna drape that over Beowulf and
Yep.
and try to get his bearings and figure out what exactly we're up to at this point.
So you look up into the maelstrom, which I will describe again in a moment. But at that moment that you look up, Ithacus, you're next. You just see big, shaky, freezing Beowulf getting to the top of the stairs as you're sort of halfway up.
Red, okay?
And cold.
Oh no.
And Ithacus will actually take off his hood, which it's gross, but he's still trying to help, and he takes it
Yeah.
off and gives it to Beowulf.
He grabs it and it's like, I think this is a little small. I'm gonna go crawl into bed now.
So,
He just
yeah.
kind of slowly goes down the stairs, like half cold, frozen.
Holding the hood like a teddy bear. Like a Freddy. Ithacus, with that, your eyes are now sort of, you kind of turn around and your eyes are right at deck level with an E. But yeah, and you're kind of looking through the railings out at this vicious river. Just behind you, you feel Zulthis coming up the stairs. Zulthis, you're quite a bit taller, so you can stop several stairs back and still see the same thing. Your boat is out of control. It is just rotating, spinning down this river. There's huge rocks and chunks of ice in the river. It is, so far, it's been pure luck that it hasn't hit anything. Zulthis, you have no connection to the boat anymore. It turns out your ability to control it must have gone through the elementals, which meant that explained why you could only go up, down, left, and right.
Okay,
So
I'm not
it's-
helpful here.
So it's a boat. Well, everybody is going to be equally helpful in that nobody has any idea what to do, including me, how you're going to get out of this. But
Can I see Beowulf at this point still?
Yes, Beowulf is sort of coming down the stairs towards you. Yes.
Holy crap! The outfit. We're fixing this. Come on.
Well,
I have a sewing machine in my room.
there a bed.
Yes, there's a bed too. I don't really need it, as long as you don't mind a weird bone cocoon thing by the foot of it?
As long as I don't touch it, I don't give a shit.
Awesome.
And
'Cause I was thinking of giving it to Iticus. I don't know if they'll like it, but you know.
you start walking them down the narrow hallway of the ship. And I just had this image from the end of the hall watching. It's kind of zoomed in on Beowulf's bare feet as they go splash, 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 as they go down.
And I
the hall.
imagine as he's walking, he slips a little bit once in
Yep.
a while.
Yeah,
and
you
catches
slip a little
himself.
bit, and again, because we're only seeing this from the knees down, you just see the feet slip, catch, and then a chunk of slush goes, poof, where it's falling off of your shoulders, and then splish, 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 splish down the halls to a nice warm rest under the blankets. Meanwhile,
Clothing
yes.
off. I will fix.
And you start being Grandma Zulthis, piling stuff up and making.
Oh, this
ultra
is trash. I'll just make you new stuff.
But I like
Starts
my
putting
stuff.
together bedwear for you. Yes, yeah, the squeaky squishy noise sandals make when they're soaking wet. Yes, that noise exactly. Meanwhile, back up in the actual current emergency, which I have apparently not made current or emergent enough to cause anybody to sweat. The three of you are now, two of you are now on deck. Iticus and Bickford, save the Clifford. Go.
Bickford's going to head to the harpoon.
Okay. Yeah.
And he's going to attach the chain onto the bolt and attach that to the boat, because I'm
Okay.
assuming that's kind of how that works.
Yep.
And he's going to try and fire it into a rock or into the ground or something when they're
It's all
aimed
ice.
at something.
We
So
said
it's-
we said that earlier. So it would be fighting a particularly solid chunk of ice and trying to shoot into that.
yeah, like specifically onto the shoreline. Try and
Yep. So you want to try and use it as an anchor. Is the idea?
yeah.
Okay. Iticus.
Iticus will kind of be looking around, and for whatever reason, he gets the idea from when he was in Waterdeep, where he watched the little boats control the big boats.
Yeah. Okay.
And so he'll run over to Bickford, and he's speaking pretty much exclusively in Goblin
Yep.
now. And he runs over.
Idea. Take little boat, attach, and we drive using little boat.
Like a tug.
Yes. Like in Waterdeep, where they take little boat and they get a big boat.
So,
Whitewater rafting with the ship's pinnace. I think that's the right size for this size of boat. By your big muscle-bound self down a level 4.5 rated rapids, backwards in a rowboat, with nothing to guide you but a half-mad goblin warforged. And this is the plan. The adults are downstairs. Bickford, I will mention you have powerful build. So
Mhm.
for the purposes of this, yes, you may oar most powerfully.
okay, so
It work?
The
It could.
rivers just around you as the water settles on the rails. It's turning to ice, threatening to sink the ship itself. Until the
Yeah,
next
so-
wave hits, the ice shatters and falls off, because I don't need you doing that too.
So fire the harpoon, or get Iticus to fire the harpoon into the shoreline to try and anchor it. And then I use the rowboat to try and push it towards shore.
Okay, so now Bickford, your plan is your plan is still get us to shore and get out of this boat. Is that the
Or try to at least slow the boat down so we can control it. Like we can't control this damn boat. The only thing we can do is stop it or let us keep going, in which we're
Right.
probably screwed.
Now, I just want to be clear. Iticus, you guys have got time to have part of a conversation. I'm just trying to make it really clear in my head. Are you suggesting that you run the rapids
Yes,
without shooting the harpoon in the wall and trying to stop it all?
correct.
Okay, that is the part that I wanted to make clear, because that's something like a sentence in Goblin could have covered it. I just wanted to make sure there is still a vast difference between the two plans.
Okay.
Another big chunk of ice hits the boat, and you start to spin the other direction. You just realize at this point you were dizzy, but it's better now because you're unwinding.
Beowulf's head's really starting to hurt right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your room's spinning, and you're not sure if it's you or the room.
Just pills are thrown in the general direction of Beowulf. It's aspirin!
They're all bent because you've had to make them while spinning to the left.
Oh man, which I don't know which one I want to do.
I love this game.
Looks to it and goes, worst case scenario, we try to anchor on the shoreline.
Ice break.
Right.
So, Beowulf, what's your favorite color?
Black.
Excellent.
That's what color 3 of your toes are now.
No, they're still a very kind of You should keep those under wraps.
Well, he is definitely under as many blankets as he can get under, but still shivering a little bit, like a mild case of hypothermia.
And the two of you under decks can hear the big thudding of ice hitting. This isn't like, river ice. This is huge chunks of glacier ice that are being torn down this river, which is a torrent. That's the word I've been looking for. That is the correct faux medieval word for what you guys are going down. A torrent. If you go in, you're done, pretty much. Even those of you who are resistant to cold, you're going to get pummeled to pieces. The boat so far, while it's creaking and groaning, has not apparently taken any actual damage. Beowulf, you're just getting warm, but I will give Zulthus the option. The pills have been thrown at the pile of blankets on the bed. There may or may not be snoring, or maybe it's just breathing through all the blankets covering their nose and mouth that's making that noise. But you have an option here to either stay or go.
Zulthus is going to take 2 seconds and just monogram Beowulf Blackmane on the inside of the jacket. And then just place it, just put it on the hanger, and then goes, okay, well, if they haven't killed us yet, they're going to soon, so I better get up there.
Zulthus the tailor. Heads running up the stairs. Cut back to upstairs. Yeah.
Bickford's going with Iticus's plan.
Okay.
Not sure if this is a good idea, but Iticus has got really good luck. So
big boat swirling, heading down the river. You tie off to like the bowsprit of that with a big thick rope. Tie the other end of the little boat and then push the little boat out. And here's a question. How much does Bickford know about whitewater rafting? Because I was about to say head downstream at full speed and try to go faster than the water that you're in, which is the only way to stay in
very
control.
fucking little.
Well, give us a nature? No. Survival roll. Nobody ever rolls survival.
Iticus would be going with him 100%. Like,
Oh, you're
he
going
is
in a
not
little
going
boat too? Okay,
Yes.
cool. You're like the bosun in a rowing team of 8. You just sit there and go, yeah.
If someone explains any of this to Creature, he'll try to help. But
Oh, I
don't think that's
time
gonna
this.
happen.
No, I have a moment of timing. So that's the plan. The two of you are going to get in the boat, leap over to the side, and survival 8. You have no idea should you go upstream or downstream in the little boat. Iticus, give me a. Oh, You can give me either either a survival while you try and figure it out yourself, or you can give me a history to remember how the little boats did it in Waterdeep.
Oh no. I will do survival because I know that's higher.
12. Goblin flashback moment. The full green. You were like all flesh. Long time ago, you were very small. There was a creek near where you lived, and you used to go watch the otters play in the water. And you saw when they tried to swim against the water, they were really slow and it was a lot of work. When they went with the water and just let the river push them, they bounced off everything. But if they swam downstream as fast as they could go, they would just and miss everything and go.
Okay. Then I'll tell Bigford.
Go with water.
Okay. And he starts to.
The two of you leap into the boat and off the side. Oh, I want to roll. What did we roll for this? Athletics.
Bickford?
I want an athletics from Bickford. Idicus, athletics or acrobatics?
My luck's back.
Acrobatics of 15. Okay. Bickford, you shove the boat off the side. You time it absolutely wrong, and the wave comes in the little boat. It is about to be swamped. You're backing up the impossible stairs, trying to get back out of this boat onto the deck of the ship. At that point, Idicus lands on the inside edge and kind of flips the whole thing, and it does a full 180, physics be damned, full 360, dumps all the water out and comes around just in time for you to plummet headfirst into it. Idicus lands beside you, just tunk. Like just competence incarnate.
Yeah.
Your face is
Big
kind of
full
smushed up
circle.
underneath the seat. One of the oars is in your nose. The other one might be up your ass. But you're in
Between
the boat.
cheeks.
As you hit the
Boxes
water, Zulthus, your head comes up. The boat comes up on one of these waves in the river, and you can see them just as Bickford's having the first pull on the oars.
This is going to end badly, but part of me wants to see how it goes.
So are you staying on the big ship? Or are you
He's
making a
staying on the
life
He's staying on the big ship, just kind of going, do I need to make the boat lighter?
Ow!
I know a werewolf for her to be using.
I know a bunch of beds we're not going to need later.
With that, you
You
stay
guys sleep on the
ship.
floor, right?
As you continue to yell encouragement at them, if that's what that was, you feel the big boat at least straighten out. The Clifford straightens out as you take up the slack. Bickford, I gave you that for free. Idicus, how are you helping?
Basically, anytime that I see something that's like in the water, I yell it out.
Okay, so you are actually going to pilot him. I love it. In that case, you will use the help action just so we can pretend we're playing D&D. And that gives Bickford advantage on your... this is pure strength, man. This is just rowing a boat. Unless you have row boat as a special ability or
Not to my
Navy as
knowledge.
your background, this is just a straight athletics.
Oh, athletics? Like, fuck. A little bit better.
Yeah, we'll pretend that, the 12. You're making headway, barely. The rope almost gets cut on a rock. This is going to be way more difficult than you thought. But at least, like I said, the bow of the ship has come around. And besides, you're committed now. You realize very quickly against this current, there's no way you're getting back to the big boat. So you might as well steer.
Pom poms cheering people on.
There's some cheering going on up there. Downstairs, Beowulf, it's just all of a sudden it's considerably calmer. You have a moment.
He's definitely starting to relax. and think about what happened, especially now that he's actually starting to warm up.
Yep.
Again, he's just like a little cocoon in underneath all those blankets,
Yep.
probably pretty much ignoring the pills because I don't think he even saw them.
Nope.
So he's just laying there contemplating about what the hell just happened. Why couldn't I change? One, and then two, where did that arm come from? It seemed like mine. Those feet seemed like mine. It was really weird. Still not full memory yet.
No.
It's slowly trying to break through. He's remembering something that happened to him a few years ago before he started off on his lone quest about a partner of his. He just remembers her face all of a sudden. Nothing more at the moment. But he has a feeling that this person is not exactly very happy with him right now.
And then in the lull, you kind of go to sleep.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, up on the deck, Zulthus, your cheering is clearly saving the day. The boat is still vertical. They're still rowing. You're still alive. Give me a perception check as you look around to see what else you can fix.
I knew what I was going to do already. But
I just
give
want to give you
perception.
some more information.
18.
Thank you for rolling well. As you look around to assess the situation even more thoroughly, you see behind you coming down the stream is just a fin sticking out of the water, and then another, and then another. These just the fin are huge. They're probably sort of, half a meter when they cut through the surface of the water and dive again. You see the hint of giant silver scales. These long, thin, pointy fish that are coming towards you using the stream to speed themselves along appear
that
intent
18
on coming to your direction.
With that 18 perception, would I know what they are?
They are
Enough to be able
essentially
to make a
giant
bait?
pike.
Okay.
If everybody know, can everybody get that reference? The long, thin fish, they've actually got teeth.
Also
Barracuda.
called-
Yeah, there's probably the more famous one. It's a freshwater barracuda,
Yeah.
basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like a sturgeon on steroids.
So yes, those, but they're 10 to 12 feet long instead of 2 to
Zulthus
3.
doing very quick. Can I do doing a quick mental inventory of what's inside the ship and what needs to be, and what could be done to make sure that those don't go and bother the people driving the boat? Essentially.
The little tiny boat out in front, that could be
Yeah.
problematic for you.
You have a
Exactly.
stern.
But it's to make sure that those giant freshwater barracudas don't go anywhere near them.
Yep.
Taking mental inventory of the ship.
There's food, well, at least people food on the ship. You've seen people eat, you don't, but there's food here.
I mean, I drink.
There's
but
this
that's a different
there's
thing.
this ship itself. Hello to the Chaos Witch. I know you. Jaws, Steve. No. There's more than one. Many more than one. The ship, your ship itself, the big ship, is probably immune to any attacks. You figured that out yourself. But
Yeah.
what exactly were you looking for?
I'm trying to come up with a way that I could entice these fish to jump onto our deck.
Oh,
So
trying
that
to
it become
actually
my
get them to come up
problem.
out of the water. Well,
Yeah,
that's
so that it-
easy.
So that it become my
You-
problem and not their problem.
Yes.
I was going to make a giant soup, essentially.
Well, yeah, something like that, or
To entice them to-
yourself as bait would also work, even in your smoky form, because I have insisted that it is corporeal.
We've all insisted that.
Yes.
By
Yeah.
now,
It was never not going to be corporeal. Anyways,
There
I
is
just want to. I
possible-
kind of want to roll again.
Yep.
Uh,
So you
could
tell
I
me
u-
what you want to roll and why.
with my survival skills, I'd like to be able to make a gigantically enticing bait, essentially. And if I need to cover myself in that bait to make these fish come over, I will do just to make sure that
what's it
they
called? Not scrum, when they do it for sharks.
chum.
Chum, that's the one, yeah. So yes. Gotta
Essentially, to
some
make
chum.
the most delicious chum ever.
Well, survival. Roll poorly, I have a joke. Damn it. I wanted a 1 or a 2 so I could say you made vegan chum. Useless for 13. You get about all the edible stuff on this ship. And some fish, they're fishing for food as they're traveling as well. So, yeah, you have some, an amount, but it's on the deck. And yes, they're coming, but you don't know. At least I would suggest, unless you come up with some other way of getting them up onto the boat, I don't see them leaping onto the deck. I'll give you that. I'll give you that information for free as a GM. But
That's
yes, you have made chum. That is basically your action for this little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to throw it against the shore to see if I can just get them off our trail then.
Trying. So you prepare to do that. Okay. So you're going to throw chum, Idicus and Bigford in the boat. Give me perception checks. That'd be really high to see the fish, but you might see Zulthus being weird. Nope. And nope. No, definitely not. An 8 and a 1? No, absolutely no way. Which makes sense. You guys are facing downriver, rowing for life. Speaking of which, you are aiding and abetting again, Idicus?
Yes.
I got to give you an actual choice. You come around an icy corner and see that there's a place where a number of these little ice floes have jammed together to form temporary ice islands. And you have 3 channels to choose from. There's one through the middle, one through the left, and one through the right. You have a split second to decide. Do you even know left and right, or are you just going to have to point?
Just gonna have to point.
And which way do you point? Left, right, or
technically
straight?
left.
To the left. Okay. Pickford, you're looking at Edicus and they go. You start pulling in that direction with advantage. Give me a athletics.
Athletics. Ow.
Oh my goodness. 7 with advantage.
With advantage, I got a 7.
Does powerful build
heave
give
to
any
the
bonus to that?
left. It wouldn't have done any more than give him advantage, I don't think.
I'm just treated as a class larger.
Yeah. But in this instance, well, yeah, okay, in this case, I'll throw it in your face. As you heave on the oars to try and turn, you snap one of them with your powerful build. You now have a rudder and no oars. You rolled really poorly, so why not?
Looks at Edicus. Okay, I guess we're switching spots. I grab Edicus with one hand, put him where I was sitting, and I take his spot and sort of start.
Oh, at the back, now you're just steering for survival. Okay. Edicus, you are in one free floating boat with another free floating boat behind. This is not how they did it in Waterdeep. What are you going to do about this?
My best.
Yes.
What do I need to roll to try and just like keep us from dying?
You just want to, okay, you have, yes, your job has now changed to don't flip the boat.
Yeah.
Give me an acrobatics. You already did, this is what we made you do on the way into the boat. Oh, 7. So, the boat does that tippy thing like it did at the start, and the water starts to flow in, and you go, I remember this, and you jump up on the other rail and you land, but the rail kind of cracks under your foot, and your foot slips on the ice. You just kind of fall on your butt on it, and the boat settles, the small boat that you guys are in settles back down again, but it is full almost to the gunnels. There is only about this much of the walls of the boat sticking up above the ice cold water that the two of you are now in. Because
Oh,
you're
my balls
full
are
of that
cold.
water, the big boat is now starting to close on you.
Idicus is going to look to Big Fred and just say,
You go up. Cold no bother me. I'm okay. You go up.
I have a better idea. I grab Idicus and I use Misty Step to teleport up to the boat.
Absolutely. Yeah, like I said, it was coming in to crush you guys, so you wait till it gets within 30 feet and poof. The two of you appear on the foredeck of the ship just in time, because it's starting to rotate again because you haven't been pulling on it, and it runs over the small boat that you were just in, driving it underneath, and you see it disappearing into the black water below. The boat you're in, the Clifford, rises up and over and down.
Speed bump.
Yep, basically.
Hello! I just want to clarify that I saw that. And
Yep. And
That,
then the boat starts to
this
spin again. Yep.
So if that terrible plan has gone awry,
Yep.
I
Two
have
sevens.
one.
Yes. Keep rolling sevens. We could do this all night.
Oh, Zulfus, changing his plan from throwing it, just plops the giant bottle thing of chum in front of them. We're
Yeah.
going to go fishing. Those things, he points, trying to get everyone's attention to the.
Yeah.
As
You
it's
guys are
slowly
thinking the worst
spinning.
is over. The worst is over. Oh, look, giant fish.
Those giant, whatever they are. I don't know. I don't care.
Yeah.
We're going to go fishing for them, and then they're either going to pull the boat that way, or they're going to help us go back downstream. Either way, we're screwed. So let's try it.
Another bold plan. We are going to
We are
ride them like
cowboys.
worms in Dune. Oh, yes.
Where's
That's the
Idicus?
plan. Idicus? Yeah.
Idicus is walking to the back towards the harpoon, completely ignoring Zolthus,
Okay.
and he's going with Big Fred's original plan
You
of
are now going to
entering
go
us.
and try and pin the ship to the wall?
Yep. I'm
Gotcha.
gonna try and pin the ship to the wall.
Just dum, 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 dum,
Well,
dum,
I love
dum.
how my opinion has been brought into consideration in this plan.
I look at Zulthus. I'm like, you expect me to wrangle a fish? Just checking.
You do have
That was
the
partly the
harpoon.
plan. I mean, we've got harpoons, we've got chum,
crossbow.
and we also have rope. In this bag of, essentially, it's an elephant sack.
And the elephant's not happy about it.
His head went the same way direction I did.
Or an elephant satchel. I don't exactly know what they call it. It's a very interesting literary tool. Anyways, we'll continue moving forward.
And as you do, the ship continues to spin and crash into the ice as it heads down the river. The fish getting closer and closer at every second. Beowulf, at this point, you're as warm as you're going to get. So, in other words, I'm giving you an opportunity to get back up on deck if you choose to do so at any point from this point on. Or you can stay where you are. You have no idea that anything's coming, other than you're spinning again.
Yeah, he can definitely feel that they're spinning. He felt that bump where he kind of went up and down on the bed a little bit.
Yep.
That's
Like
kind
it
of
was so cushioned. You hit the wall and the ceiling. No feeling whatsoever.
it jumbled something in his brain, but that's something we'll get to in a little bit.
Yes.
But for right now, he's gonna stay under the blankets. He's probably gonna remove a few because he's starting to get too warm.
Sure.
But he wants to continue just resting for the moment because he's going to reappear at an opportune time. Let's
Excellent.
just put
Yes, and that's basically what I was saying was whenever you wish to reappear, you may now do so. Just interrupt me. So, with that, back up on the ship at the bow, Idicus and... Idicus, you get to the harpoon. It's all loaded up and ready to go. What are you doing with it?
I'm gonna look to see if there's anywhere that's not ice, or at least not as icy,
Okay.
and I'm going to aim it try to get into the rock.
Okay, give me a perception check.
Oh no.
Nope, it's all ice. It's all big shiny ice. At least it's not a 7.
We are moving up in the world.
Just one.
At this rate, you guys will succeed by the end of the episode on one thing. So it's just ice everywhere. Are you going to hold off on the shot, or are you going to just look for a thick spot?
I'm gonna look for a thick spot.
Okay, give us just a dexterity roll, like, because you're not proficient, right? In harpoon.
No, I'm not.
15, right in the thick spot. Like, I mean, just the harpoon goes off, the string snaps, the ice falls off of it because it's all frozen in this thing. The ship is rolling and rocking at the very top of a crest. You just, oh, there it is, and drop back down. It hits the ice and drives in. The whole harpoon itself disappears, as well as the first sort of 8 to 10 links of the chain. And then the tension gets taken up as you go past it. And it spins the bow of the ship around, so now at least the bow is facing upstream. But you're starting to swing towards the shore at a rather rapid pace. And the shore is just ice wall.
Shit.
Bigford. Look, my plan is brilliant. Yeah.
Fuck. I
Tonight, my
This
men
is
will
what
make
happens
this
when no one ever goes with my
difficult.
plan.
Bigford.
Zulthus says pissily.
Bickford does not know what to do. It's
Okay.
moving. Things are moving too fast. Can I roll an insight check for some help? Or Bickford's gonna have a quick crisis of faith and grab the idol of Gronkool that he has, and just a quick, if you're watching, and I know you're always watching, we need some help.
There's an offer of help. Not enough to solve the problem. He's not that kind of god. He's sort of I help those that help themselves a lot. He's one of those gods. But he assures you that if and when you strike against your true enemy, which in this case is the fishes, you will be able to do upon them great mischiefs. But there is the ubiquitous price to be paid in the future
Of course.
to remain unknown.
It's about the best you could expect.
It's a so you want to be a warlock moment.
Halfway there already.
And we can do whatever, if you choose to, we can do whatever. We can make it a warlock or not. But that's just kind of the choice that you're being offered right now.
Yeah.
The deal.
I think more like with the way the class works. I think it's fine that he stays what he is, but
Yeah.
thematically,
Mhm.
yeah, he owes a debt.
There's a favor coming. Yeah. Do you accept the deal? An unknown favor for an unspecified power to beat these fish.
I've done worse. Let's do it.
You.
He knows Gronkool is going to test him, but
Mhm.
still, he's a shadow warrior. That means something.
You feel the knowledge pouring into you, a knowledge that is not yours. A knowledge in how to throw harpoons effectively, as if you were proficient with them even. Also, you know how to make them do the most damage. You turn and look, and there are a pile of harpoons on the deck with their barbed hooks, and you grab the barb and sort of pull it out part way, So you know it's less likely to come out and also will be more sort of devastating. That's the gift. Wonder what the favor is going to be.
I'm gonna pull off a hail. I'm gonna
Yes.
try a Hail Mary.
Yes, that's what Bickford is doing.
Yeah.
Zultus.
Zulthus will run as fast as he can
Yeah.
across onto the outside of the ship
Yep.
to where we would be crashing into the shore.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm basically putting myself between the shore
Yeah.
and that. I'm not trying to stop
you're
it with
gonna
my
be
hands.
You're
That's a
gonna be the
terrible
old
idea.
tire. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a terrible idea to do what I want to do that because I'm
Uh-huh.
also not strong enough for that. So
No.
instead, Zulthus is basically going to use the momentum of hitting something
Okay.
or trying to attack something by putting out enough blows as in quick succession and enough strikes in quick succession, even against the ice, just the last couple moments to slow us down enough that we don't take very much, if any, damage.
Okay. I have
Retro
invented a
rockets
mechanic.
for fists.
I have.
Oh, I was just going to
invented a
use all of my
mechanic in
key
my
points
head.
for that.
I have invented a mechanic in my head while you were speaking. So that's what you're gonna do. Bickford, we know what you're gonna do. Iticus, what are you doing? As the boat starts to head towards the wall. The fishes are coming. Actually, they're fish. They're all the same species.
He wants to start basically kind of making a ladder
Okay.
so that we can escape.
Oh, up the bank. Okay. Okay. I love it. You start building a way out. Bickford, what were you doing? Sorry, brain fart. We had a big long conversation about it, which is why
Big
I
long
forgot.
conversation. Totally forgot what we're doing. Bickford's gonna, start grabbing the.
The harpoons, right? You just made a deal with the devil. How the fuck did I forget that? Right, never mind. So you're bending harpoons, and they're getting close. So we are one round away from essentially doing initiative. Except we're not going to bother. It's just going to be all you go, then all they go, and we're going to go back and forth like that because it's easier. But you start prepping yourself with these harpoons, ready to do excessive damage. Beowulf, you start to make yourself comfortable downstairs. Zulthus,
And then I hear everything going on upstairs.
you hear everything going on upstairs. Do you start to come up now?
I think I'm gonna look out the port. I'm gonna say he's towards the back of the ship,
Yep.
so he's gonna look out the window.
And the ship sort of tilts so that your porthole is underwater, and you see the glint of scales and giant teeth coming alongside.
He's gonna like go wide-eyed.
Yeah. Yep.
And he hops out from under the blankets. Just, I guess, grabs his bottoms and his little hood.
Yep.
Just like runs out the door. He forgets the coat.
Yep. Reaches for your boots, but they're not there.
No, actually, I'm sorry. I take that back. He does grab the coat. Fiddlesticks.
Zulthus
But
spent
he
so
runs-
much time on it.
He runs out the door, fully dressed.
Yeah.
With no boots on.
Yep.
But still seems to have a grip. And he's all dry by now.
Yep.
But he's running up. He's running towards the front to try and help out either with the fish or when he gets up there, he's going to see the wall. So he's going to help out with either one.
All right. So you go tearing down the length of this ship and starting up the stairs. Iticus, how are you going to try? Once you get to that side of the boat, you're going to just brace your ladder against the side and just start climbing?
No, I'm gonna try and get the other one's attention and have them go first.
Okay. So you are yelling at them and building this ladder on the side of the boat. I've been waiting for this for a while.
Yeah, well, we haven't died
Boat
yet,
here.
and for one
You're standing
very
like this,
specific reason. God
legs
hates me.
here and arms here, and the ice wall's coming, and you start. I will punch the ice wall. You go ahead and give me your first attack as you try and absorb the impact by striking against this thing.
I've got 4 hits all at once. Sorry.
All
that's
right,
a-
give me the first one because I have a question for you after you do it.
1824.
You absolutely smash into the ice. The ice breaks under your strike, but it also breaks 3 of your knuckles and the bones across the back of your hand. You take 6 points of bludgeoning damage. You, however, slow the ship down considerably. You don't know how much, but this becomes your choice. You are essentially going to try and punch your way from being crushed, and in so doing, you will take damage. Or you can try and get out of the side of this gap here, or you can come up with something else.
Hey, come on. I've got 5 more hits to go. Let's do this.
Okay. Tell me when you pass out and fall into water. So you just unload. So that's 10, 15, 21, only the 4. So 25 plus 8, 33 points as you punch and kick your body into a broken boned mess. You still, yeah, you got more hit points than that, right?
Oh, I got 29 left.
Okay,
So, I mean,
yeah.
out of a scale of 67 to 0, I look like a 29.
All right. So yes, as you just shatter bones and have to move to new legs, you have to leave one leg sort of stuck to the ship, otherwise you can't use your fancy standing thing.
Oh, it's all in fists. He doesn't bother with any
You
kicks.
are just, yeah, in that case, you're just shattered from the collarbones out. The smoke is actually starting to dissipate a little bit. You're that beat up because it happened all at once, all in a flurry of blows, as it were. A snow flurry of blows.
All that's seen underneath that smoke is just a mound of tendrils.
Yes.
There is no
yes.
skeleton underneath.
Yeah.
It's all just cartilage and
In this
tentacles,
brief,
and essentially
in this
it's
brief
just-
moment, you can see through the smoke and see what's really under there. It's all
and
Cthulhu
nothing
shit.
but teeth where there should be
Yeah.
suckers on the. It's just teeth.
It's just pure Cthulhu in the smoke. That's where you always
Yeah.
keep your Cthulhus, is in smoke. Otherwise, it makes
Yeah.
people crazy.
Yeah, that's. And he's going to take a moment to re-edit his smoke.
So,
he can-
from the rest of your points of view, Zulthis runs over the side of the boat. There's a horrible crushing noise. The boat stops just before it gets to the ice, like there's a tire in there, and it's been squished ever so slightly. Iticus, you slam the ladder up against this ice wall. What would you roll to build a ladder in short order? What skill would you use?
Sleight of hand.
Yes, beautiful. Yes, give me a sleight of hand. How much rope do you get built?
That is 2 ends of the extreme.
Yep. You build 20 feet, perfect ladder. But then it goes like that. So, when you get it against the wall, like if you had rolled well, the ice wall kind of curves as it goes above the river, and if you had rolled well, you would have gotten up to the shoulder, sort of, and made it possible to climb up there. You did not. You can get up there, but it's still ice picks or at least sharp objects, daggers or something, to try and pull yourself up to safety beyond the top of your ladder as you slam it against the ice. Knowing that, you said you were going to try and get everybody else to go first. Is that still
Yes.
the idea?
Protect
What
everyone
do you
else.
say?
So I'm gonna switch back to common
Yeah.
for this.
Beowulf, Bigfred, come, safety.
Beowulf ain't exactly on deck just yet.
Just coming up. For the purposes of this, you just get here now and hear that. You kind of look around, what? Huh? But there's giant fish and shit, and yeah, there's a harpoon driven in the wall. The boat is kind of bouncing against the wall. Zulthus is nowhere to be seen.
What the world did I come up into? All of a sudden, he just gets like into action, and he heads towards where he can see the fish, and he wants to just try and attack them.
Absolutely. So you run to the side. What weapon would you be using? Your crossbow? Because there's a crossbow on the ship or the big harpoon.
He is going to use something a little bit different.
Please do.
Still a big old bucket of chum in the middle of the ship.
There is still that too, yeah.
Or you're diving
Oh,
in.
are you going fishing?
Oh, he's going fishing.
Okay. You get 2 attacks per round normally?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Wow.
Whoa.
So-
he's like,
Are you
he-
even
he
aware that
places
you
like,
make the change? Yeah. You tell us what happens.
okay. He's not quite aware yet. He hasn't fully made the change because he's acting in the moment.
Yeah.
But just before he jumped up and started to run out and after he put on his clothes and stuff, he probably could have seen a little bit of himself, but he's actually kind of changed. And what did I do?
You just put the link in chat to Hero.
I did that on purpose.
Okay.
No, I meant I did something else on my computer, but no, I put the link in chat on purpose.
Okay.
That's a bit what he looks like. So basically, he's just basically going by instinct right now. He's not feeling the cold because he's got his clothes back on. His feet are kind of padded and protected. So he's just basically going fishing with his big, large claws.
So for those that haven't clicked on the link, you are probably get best described now as a hybrid of werewolf and human, right? Because you're still bipedal,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And yeah, so you were just in this more ferocious form, but still sort of human in nature.
Mm-hmm.
With that, you reach down for the first time ever, and because it's the first time ever, you miss. You just whiff on the first attack. But the second one, no. The second one, the claws come down and drive into the flesh of this fish, doing. Oh yeah, the fingers go on one side, the thumb goes on the other. You pull. You take out a big chunk of flesh, scales digging into your claws as you pull away. The fish twists and shakes and slams against the boat, rocking the whole thing before spinning away and leaving. You're not the easy prey you thought it was. It thought you were. So one of the fish has left. And you're just hanging over the side of the boat. Just at that moment, you see your reflection in the black water.
What? He's gonna back up and kind of end up falling down on his butt as he kind of scooches back.
Yep.
He's still kind of in that phase where he wants to fight and protect, but he's wondering what in the world he just saw.
Absolutely. Iticus, what are you doing?
Well, there's now another change.
Yep. Should have called this episode Under Pressure. Well, I know it's fair enough. I called it Up the Creek, so
So, still, essentially trying to get everyone to the safety
yes, yeah,
still.
right. Apparently nobody listened. You yelled, "Get up there!" Beowulf went fishing. Actually, let's get back to you then. In that case, because that was your thing. Was you asked people to go up? Bigford, are you climbing the ladder? Are you fighting fishes? Are you dealing with the hybrid werewolf that just appeared on deck?
Well, the thing is, the
Old
werewolf.
Smokey's missing.
Yeah, at this point, he's starting to do a count, and he realizes that he's still got a spare finger.
Yep.
Not right.
Yeah.
and he's gonna head over to the. He's still got the harpoon in one hand because he knows the deal he made.
Yeah.
And he's gonna look over, and I guess, what do I see? A mushed creature?
As you look over the side, not mushed, but
Creature with a big chunk out of it.
It's the limbs seem broken, essentially. Even though you can see fully, there's no cloud of darkness hiding it.
yeah, the
The
hands are kind
limbs
of
are kind of
stuck in the
hanging
ice.
to the side.
Yeah.
They're just kind of hanging off of him. He's got no control in them, essentially.
But
And you just see
you
this
can tell
mound of
because of him, the ship took no damage on that impact somehow.
yeah, and of course a mound of fleshy, toothy tentacles that are all together, with these big white eyes and a strange-looking mouth, kind of going, "You might not want to look."
I used to work for a lich. This is fine. Look for I look for a tentacle that isn't like all teethy. I look for a thick one, find a spot that I can actually grab,
Yeah.
and I pull him up.
Oh, creature will just kind of, because he's always had the chest tentacles essentially.
Yeah.
Mm.
One of them just kind of winds its way out
Yeah.
and
So he
splits
grips.
open to look a bit like a hand.
Yeah, and splits, and you pull him back up on deck. So now you're all on deck. Idicus is holding the world's third worst ladder up against the ice. The boat is starting to pull against the chain. You look up, and where the harpoon went in the wall, it's coming out one chain link at a time.
Shit.
It's time to decide. The rope is the harpoon is about to come out.
On the bright side, we're not going to have to worry about feeding the elementals. On the downside, we got to get going.
So Bickford up the ladder.
Bickford's going to help Beowulf up and make sure that everybody else
You
gets
guys are
off.
going to Canadian yourselves to death.
Uh,
Beowulf, you've been asked to go first up the ladder. Or are you going?
He doesn't want to go. He wants to go fishing again.
Buddy, we got to go.
Zulthus?
Zulthus,
You
not
get pulled
creature, I
up
almost
and
said
you're
creature.
just like, how are you even going to
Zulthus.
use a ladder?
Zulthus in a very, very. Can I just take 10 points of damage to do this?
But tell me what you're going to do.
I'm going to basically split my arms into two, and grab everyone that I can, and just walk up the side.
Try and walk up the side. With
Because
your
technically I
yeah.
can.
Yeah, but not with broken arms. I'm going to. Yeah.
No. I mean, I literally mean take 10 damage to fix them slightly.
I see what you mean.
Enough.
I
To the
don't like
point
to
I'm
say it, but
almost
no.
dead.
In this instance, I want
Okay.
everybody to have the free will to make this decision and not get carried
Okay.
off the boat. But
Oh,
you could
okay.
certainly walk up. That's easy. I never even thought of that. You will not even have to. There's no chance of
Oh,
you
yeah, no.
slipping.
Creature will wait for everyone else. Sorry, Zulthus will wait for everyone else to
Okay.
get
So,
to safety before he
Back to you,
bothers.
Beowulf. Are you going? Everybody else is going.
Nope.
Okay. Idicus, what are
He
you
wants to
doing?
protect-
They're all standing there going after you, after you, after you, after you, after you. The fish are here. The ladder's against the wall. The harpoon's about to pull out.
He's going to wait.
Okay. One more.
Bickford's
And-
clearly frustrated at Beowulf for not listening, but he's got more important things to worry about, and he's going to head up. He's going to make sure that Idicus comes with him, or at least try. It's like, come on. I guess Beowulf will be fine.
Freds, don't leave. Freds.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough fight after what happened yesterday in game.
Zulthus is going to come over to Bickford and sort of just whisper into his ears. Sometimes Freds make hard decisions for other Freds. Take Idicus. There's a doctor on board I can fix.
If If we stay on this boat, we're all gonna die.
I'll watch
Beowulf.
after Beowulf. You take the kid.
Beowulf, you leap for the railings, looking for another fish. Go ahead and attack. Hits. Both of those hits, so 9 and 18. So yes, you reach down, and this time you just grab it more like a bear than a wolf, and just rip, and you feel the spine snap underneath the back, and you drop it back in the water, and it starts to float away. You look up, there are dozens. Still. You're killing one every round, but there are dozens. Zulthus, you're right behind them. You look up, and there's just this whole school coming down the river towards you.
Either run and live another day now, or we all die. Don't do this for me. Don't do this for you. Do this for Alan. We leave.
That's a low blow.
Just hear a feral growl from him.
Yeah.
There is an even angrier, more ancient.
We're getting
sounding
feral
growl
out here.
from Zulthus.
And back with the adults, who we called the children earlier. Are you heading up Bickford and Idicus? Are you heading up the ladder? Idicus, you can brace the ladder here.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Zulthus
brace.
was loud enough to say that. Zulthus was hopefully loud enough to say, "Do this for Alan, for everyone."
Yeah, I'm gonna brace
Yeah.
for Bickford.
Bickford, yeah.
When at top, hold for me.
He nods. He's also going to take his 50-foot of rope, the supplies, and bring it down in case the ladder falls apart. They have a rope, and
Alright.
he's got that.
So you start to climb the ladder. Give me a acrobatics. The boat's pulling away from the wall. 13. So yeah, you stumble to the top of the ladder and realize that you're still on this very curvy bit of ice. If you just sort of tried to climb from here, you're not going to make it. You're going to have to use pitons or daggers or something to climb from here.
Yeah, I've got a pair of daggers I can use.
Okay, so you start smashing away with those and very slowly making your way up the side of this bank. Or do you? Because you were asked to hold the ladder when you got to the top.
He's going to tie the rope to the ladder,
Okay.
and holding on to, or with the rope still on him, he's going to make.
So it's
his way
on
up.
you and the ladder. Okay, and you start to climb your way up. All right. Idicus, you see Bickford climb up the ladder, and against instructions, just keep going.
Okay.
And he's going to look towards Zulthus and Beowulf and say,
Your turns. Let's go.
You got to take him serious now. Somehow he's a Russian goblin now. So
"No, it's just the accent's finally coming through."
yeah. Beowulf. The hunting is just pouring through you. This need to hunt, this need to kill, but your friends are around you. You hear the fish starting to slam into the boat. Instead of attacking you, they're attacking the boat, and it's cracking. The wood that didn't break from the ice is cracking when these fish hit it.
The adrenal rush wears off.
Hold on, I'm thinking.
Yeah. Zulthus.
Oh,
Yeah, Zulthus tries to sort of bring you back.
And if an adrenal rush is really what you need, I've got a bunch of things in my bag.
Meanwhile, I'll give you a moment to think. At the top of the ladder, climbing up, Bickford, give me another acrobatics check to get up this wall, haul on the rope.
At 20.
Yeah, it is. It's time to.
Fine.
It's time to GTFO, right? It's just up the hill, around onto the flat part, and you find yourself sort of on this crest. So it's easy to drop over the other side with the rope tied around you and kind of be an anchor.
And he spreads himself out to
Yeah.
distribute
You
his weight.
look behind you just as you do this. You are on the edge of a shattered ice field that goes as far as you can see in every direction. There's chasms as big as this river every couple of miles, and little stuff in between.
Fun. This is new.
It's literally you're literally on in a glacier field.
Yeah.
Iticus.
Come on! Just yelling.
You easily climb up the ladder and get to the rope. The rope goes up around the edge, and you hear Bickford yelling, "Come on." You turn and look. Beowulf, are you coming?
That's what I was working on right now.
Mhm.
I am. This is probably not going to go well, but I'm going to do a perception.
Okay. To see how much danger you're in, is that the idea?
Figure things out. 14. So he's managed to realize that, he's still around people he knows. So his bloodlust is starting to go back down.
Yep.
He realizes, he sees creature, but he's still kind of muddled in his mind. But then he sees, the tail end of Bickford, what little there is,
Yeah.
go over that glacier.
Yeah.
He's just at this point. Then he's going to run and jump onto the glacier and try to just use his paws to get on it.
Give me an acrobatics.
You got it.
17.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't even need the ladder. It's just up the wall on all fours. This will be the first time the other three have seen this in the full light of day. You're kind of half person, half wolf. These claws, these feral eyes, the drool running from your cheeks, torn claws covered in blood from the fish and the scales that you've fought. And you just run up this wall and over the top and kind of have to skid to a stop at the top and have to do that thing where you're balanced on this razor thin edge of ice. You sort of drop down and get stable over the top of it, right next to Bickford. So on the deck of the boat, Zulthus, the ice gives. The harpoon that was stuck in it falls away and falls into the water. The boat starts to move again, dragging the ladder with it. At the top of the ladder, you hear the rope tink, 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 as the tension builds up in it.
Is Iticus gone up at all? This is one of the questions.
Okay, I misspoke. I thought you were partway up. So no. Iticus is holding the ladder, right? You were specifically bracing.
Yeah.
This little tiny 3-foot tall warforged bracing the ladder for yet another huge person to climb.
Okay. He's pretty much going to run over to Iticus, get down on one knee very quickly and go, "Climb up the ladder. I can walk up the ledge easily. Don't worry about me. Get up."
And you've seen Zulthus walk on stuff all the time, on walls.
Looks around and just goes,
Lucky.
and he'll start climbing.
And you
Thank
just
the gods. I thought I was going to have to pull Alan out of my ass again.
and you easy. You're a rogue. I'm not even going to make you roll. You just up the ladder, up the rope. As you do, the boat separates from that ladder where you had it braced, snaps. And Zulthus, you start to move with the boat, and it's starting to just pull away from the side, this ice wall. The fish are hammering into it below the waterline.
Okay, one of two things are going to happen. Let's see what happens. And I'm assuming an acrobatics roll to jump onto the ice wall.
Absolutely. Just to get there. 21. You just and 1 foot off the railing and just like you're doing a two-footed kick. Then you just thunk against the wall like a double-pointed dart, and then just start walking up the ice. As you do so, the ship behind you pulls completely clear and starts to rotate down the creek again. The fish don't go after the boat, though. They swirl around at the bottom of the ice that you are climbing. And when you last climb over off the top, you can still see them down there. Humaning, I guess. If we go fishing, they're going humaning. They're
They're
hunting.
nothing.
They're waiting. The chum is still on the boat, floating down the river. The boat is not destroyed, but as you see it going away, it's starting to list slightly. It is damaged, and who knows? You might find it again, or you might not.
You know what? If it's back, it'll find us.
The four of you are perched on this ledge, this ridge. It's dirty. This glacier has been here so long that you can see the snow and the ice. It's layers. And there is white ice and then black where the dirt was in the summer, and then white ice and black, and there's layers and layers and layers and layers of it. And as the four of you look around, it goes off in every direction. Every mile or so, there's a big gap like the one that you're beside now. So you got to think that there's a major river every mile. You have no food. The big rivers are only part of the problem. There's crevasses everywhere on this ice. And who knows what hidden under the wind-blown snow. You have no supplies, no food. You don't even have, other than the one on a certain werewolf's back, you don't even have a map. You are, as you remember.
That Idicus had the map in his bag.
Oh no, right. Idicus has a map, and then there's the one on Beowulf's back shows all the giant artifacts are floating down. This just occurred to me. I wish this had been a brilliant plot point, but this, you saw it. It just occurred to me. All the artifacts are slowly sinking and floating down the river. People say I don't play dramatic enough games. There's 4 of them now, I think. The largest, what we referred to as the largest collection of ancient giant artifacts in the Sword Coast, is now floating untended down a river that, while it's traveling through an ice field at this point, is heading towards civilization. The 4 of you are trapped on top of an ice ridge, watching it fade away.
And I just realized that one of those things had a special ability.
Oh, there's at least one of them that you do not want in the wrong hands.
Special ability.
There's one giant artifact that's kind of been held on to, but that's because Creature has it.
Yeah.
It's the weird fire ring, but that doesn't help us go anywhere. It's just...
No, that's not going to help.
I don't even know what it does.
That is where, I know it's only 7:36, but that is a cliffhanger, literally, if there ever was one. The 4 of you are hung on the edge of a cliff.
Spammer.
Oh, good grief. If I wanted followers, I would have bought them already, you ass. Okay. First time, chat from viewer, deleted. Anyway.
If I can throw one last little wrench in.
You can try.
Creature's just going to collapse from pain.
Now you say creature.
Sorry, Zulfus.
Oh, okay. I was wondering what was going to happen.
No, the shell of Creature is stuck in the boat.
Right.
If they ever want Creature back,
yeah,
it's stuck in the boat.
Yes, the bone pile is in the boat. Yeah. That was fun. Anyway, a whole different kind of stress tonight. Last week was all psychological and let's cry on stream. This week was all pressure, and I don't know what to do. I love it. I love this game. Thank you so much to the 4 of you tonight. That was a game of D&D. That was a session. Old school, new school, I don't care what you want to call it. We rolled lots of dice. There was some minor combats. That was a real adventure. So thank you so much for joining us for that tonight. Thank you very much to Sarah, Scarred Adventurer, Solar Dasher, and Bison Stonefist. Thank you so much for bringing these characters. I love it so much. We'll see if you guys live through next week. I don't know. Yep. Anybody have anything they want to go out on?
Thank you for being so wonderful. We hope to see you again next week.
We hope to see you all again
Please.
next week.
Buy electricities and toys.
Well, in that case, the other thank yous. Thank you to everybody in chat who was here tonight. I saw some faces. I saw some ones that we haven't seen in a while. And I saw all the regulars, the Dirty 20 Squad, Dirty 20 Rowdy Squad. I can't even remember the name of our own fan club. Because I'm one of the performers that cares.
You don't want that needy relationship from performers, though. It's just
Dirty 20 Rowdy Squad. Thank you for typing it in for me so I got it right at least once. It's support from people like that to keep me from looking stupid more than I do. So thank you to all the people in chat, and thank you to everybody in the future that is watching this on YouTube. If you watched all the way to here, please hit the like button because you obviously did, unless you watched it all the way to here, in which case hit the dislike button because apparently they're exactly the same as far as the algorithm is concerned. They both count for engagement. So with that, thank you to everybody. And until next time, please be nice to each other. Good night.